morning, you guys. Rasati out here in Singapore, and yeah, I'm back at it. Monday morning, 30th of March, and I kind of feel good about this because I'm finally caught up with all of the posting of the podcasts. I've updated everything. It's all on YouTube. I'm actually thinking about going back to see if I can find a way to change the thumbnails for the YouTube version of the podcast, because I think I could maybe attract more people if I just change this up, like update the thumbnail. Right now it's an auto post because as soon as I post it into Libsyn kind of distributes to Spotify and iTunes and YouTube instantly. So it's all one seamless look, but I kind of feel like if I can adjust adjust the thumbnails and make it a little more relevant for each episode, then it's not one long list of videos that all look the same with the same thumbnail. It's kind of boring that way. So I'm gonna see about doing that. In the meantime, I have been updating. So the good news about catching up with all of my workload and posting to Instagram and posting to the various other social media outlets is to make sure that I am kind of relevant, and it gives me a chance to update the hashtags that I'm using. So right now I have 3 different lists of 30 hashtags. It's not quite 30, but it's close. And I do go through and I look at how many people are using it, how often it's used, and what other related terms are being used with them, just to make sure that, I'm in the same wheelhouse that I want to be in. I'm attracting the right people. I'm not posting craziness, and that way I can make sure that every so often when I change these hashtags that it actually brings in new people to see me, because the people that comment right now are all people I actually know. I'm really, really grateful, and most of the people who like the post are all people I know as well. I would love to have new people, new eyeballs on my posts and my work, because let's be honest, this is the way I make money, right? So as I was going through, I renewed all of the hashtag lists. So I usually have 3 sets of almost 30, like I said, and I usually go through and I update them about once every 3 months or so, because I think it's kind of run its course at that point. I need to update the numbers anyway and see what's trending and what's changed in the last couple of months. So went ahead and did that. Kind of ready for this whole quarantine thing to kind of die down, because I feel like people are in such panic mode that they're not even taking care of themselves anymore. It's just a matter of like, how do I get from this day to the next without killing anyone? It's not about, okay, well, how can I heal? How can I talk to the people that I am stuck with in the house? How can I make things a little bit better? It's not even like that. It's just like, how do I get to the next day and the next day and the next day? And in that regard, nothing has really changed, because let's face it, when things were normal, and that's in total air quotations, when things were normal, we weren't really fixing relationships anyway, unless they were really, really important to us, or they were the ones that were like ignoring us or whatever, right? We don't reach out until it hurts us a little bit. Anyway, yeah, totally done with the quarantine, hoping things will go back to normal sooner rather than later. I'm kind of hoping the the idea behind March and spring kind of flows over into April instead. So we're looking at, going in like a lion, out like a lamb kind of deal. And I'm hoping that by the end of April, we kind of had a better idea of how things are going. The state of affairs, I'm hoping, will calm down a lot more, and we can look forward to the next half of the year being so much better than the first, because let's face it, we had such a rough start to 2020. And when I say 2020 in equal vision, perfect vision, we definitely saw through the entire matrix this year so far, and it's been terrifying. I will say that. Anyway, so with the whole hashtag experiment this morning, right? I updated the hashtags and all of that, and I got to see a lot of the things that are being posted, and I went back to engaging. I haven't done that in a long time. I used to purposely, intentionally engage with people just to see what people are posting, and it kind of fed my curiosity as well and gave me new things to look up. And I came across this quote that I really want to talk to you about, and that's the reason I even got on the podcast in the first place. The quote says, "When you are not fed love on a silver spoon, you learn to lick it off of knives." And it's quoting Lauren Eden as the person who actually wrote the quote, or owned the quote. And I want to talk about that so bad. It's like, oh, what? I understand. This is a quote. This is something someone has said out of pain, and I can feel it, because when you say things like you learn to lick it off of knives, it means you'll get it wherever you can get it. And it's true. True meaning to say that I've seen people do it. I've done it before. I'll take it anywhere I can get it, which means I also don't pay attention to the source. I don't pay attention to narcissistic tendencies. I tend to fall into the trap faster instead. And that scares me. So the reason I want to talk about this specific quote is because there is another side to this. I've been talking about, point of views lately, and how you can kind of look at it from many angles, basically. And right now, yes, the quote itself says, when you're not fed love on a silver spoon, you learn to lick it off of knives. I get it. It's a lot of pain involved. You will take it anywhere you can get it. It's almost like a reason for why we stay hurt and continue to hurt other people as well, because it's teaching us what our belief system should be. The other side of this, though, and I'm saying this because I believe this, I am living proof of this as well. When you're not fed love on a silver spoon, you tend to appreciate smaller doses. You really do. Sometimes those small doses can keep you satisfied for a while. Case in point being, sometimes when you are meeting someone online, let's say we have a lot of people that meet up with us online, they slide into our DMs, we talk to them or whatever, and we get attached to the connection, the fact that you speak to each other, you check in every day or whatever, and then eventually somebody will ghost, and then you feel kind of bad. And that's where I'm talking about, you will take small doses at that point. Sometimes someone will come back after a week or so and say something very sweet, and you're like, oh my gosh, I was so upset, and I was so, worried about this connection, and they reached out to me, and I feel good now, and I'll be good for another week, is what I'm saying. So you tend to appreciate love more, and you also tend to lower your standards and your boundaries in order to get more of it. It's almost like, looking for love in all the wrong places, right? But the thing I want to talk about the most is that it doesn't have to be like this. If you are not afraid to be by yourself, it can very well be what you need to be able to learn to love yourself and find ways to fill your own cup and find ways to fulfill your wishes and dreams on your own, like to grant yourself your own wishes rather than waiting for someone else to do it for yourself. So if you are willing to face the darkness, if you're willing to face all of your fears and learn to be by yourself, I think there is a lot that you can learn in order to heal yourself at the same time. You don't have to look to other people to actually to fill your cup, to make you feel better, to lift your spirits, to keep you in a great mental space. And that's why I really wanted to bring up this particular quote, because it really hurt my heart to see it, because I've been there before. I know what that feels like, and I've done that. I've licked knives too, and it's really not the best situation, because once you start doing that, you tend to tell yourself that this is the only way that you can get love. You tend to tell yourself that this is all you're worth, that your confidence kind of dwindles at this point, and it's a very, very dangerous place to be, because you will get sucked into the trap of narcissistic tendencies, of people who want to gaslight you, any of those things. You get sucked into the illusion of love at that point, because what they're giving you is the bare minimum, and it's not love. It's a control mechanism. So I really want people to think about this. If you have any experience with this at all, if you find yourself in a situation like that right now, or if you really, really identify with this quote, please hit me up, send me a message, drop me a comment in the box below, and let's talk about this, because this is a very, very scary situation to be in, especially if you're not really ready, or you're very afraid of being by yourself. Maybe you've never done it before. Maybe you've never not been in a relationship, and so you're worried about what that would mean. And honestly, it's a lot more empowering than you would think, but let's talk about it regardless, okay? So in the meantime, you guys, please try to keep a calm head, try to keep yourself occupied. And if you have projects and dreams, little things that you can actually start working on them. You have the time at the moment, right? Why not? So in the meantime, you guys, take care. I love you, and I will catch you again soon. Bye.